morning. It's Wednesday morning. Yeah, it's going to be a good day. I just made up my mind just now. It's just going to be a good day, no matter what. We have a bunch of babies to go over, and I'm going to trim all their toenails. There's a bunch of them. Holy cow! They're a month old today. I am so excited for them to grow up. A lot of them are my chocolate Agoutis, and they're all looking very, very nice. So we're going to get them out today and look at them. I thought I was going to give you a little brief overview last week after my live little chat, and life just got in the way. We didn't get her done, but we're going to do it today. So here we go. Just a few announcements. I have been working so hard. Oh my gosh. Things just keep snowballing. My deck cards, the Angora royalty deck, is coming to life. I'm just like beyond excited. I learned a few tricks. I'm constantly learning. Holy cannoli. But the first file I sent to the printers, I got back the digital proof and I wasn't happy. Oh my gosh. I thought I sent him a high enough resolution, but I didn't. There's so much to learn in that whole professional world. I'm not professional, but you know what? I'm learning. I might be professional by the time I'm done with this learning curve. So I learned a new software last night, redid all my files, tweaked them, beefed them up, sent them over. It was about midnight last night, and sent them to the printer. And lo and behold, first thing this morning, I just took a quick peek because I was getting ready for this live this morning. But, oh, they look really good, nice and sharp and bright. One of the things that I was a little disappointed on my first submission when I got them back is the pips, the little diamonds and the little hearts and clubs and such. They're gems, and I wanted them to sparkle. Of course, it's hard to get that sparkle on a card, right? On paper. But I wanted them to be sharp and pretty. And they just weren't. But they are now. So later this afternoon, I'm going to get off and I'm going to take a really hard look at them. Get that all approved, hopefully. I don't see any issues, but yeah. So hopefully we'll get them done. And I also, my first draft, I was looking at printing my own tuck box. I'm a cheap butt. I admit it. Anywhere I can save a few bucks. But I was looking at the money, and my husband and I sat down and kind of figured it all out. With the stuff that we have right now, I have enough money to print 250 cards. That's the next break level and price break. You had 100 and then 250. So I sold, I think, 120 on my Kickstarter, which is fabulous. So those guys are getting, those guys are first. They're getting their deck of cards first. But I was looking at printing my own, and then I thought, to make it easy on my printer and me, I'm just going to do it on white paper and then pretties on the front. And I taped it all up, and it looked pretty good. And then I decided after the numbers, it's like, it'll be worth my time and effort and money just to have them print the box. And then I thought, well, why don't I have the box match the back of the card with the tone of the color and everything? Oh my gosh, it's turning out so pretty. That's what it's going to look like. And That's what the back is going to look like, with a little bit of pretties on the bottom and the side and whatnot. And here is a preview. This is just on paper, but what the back is going to look like. I cut it out by hand, so don't look at my sloppy cutting here. And do you want to see one of the jokers? I made 4 jokers, 2 black and 2 red. And then I was looking at, it's like I had to make up my mind which 2 I liked best. 1 black and 1 red. I liked them all. Oh, so I just got the word again this morning that I can have all 4 printed. So I'm going for it. I'm going to have 4 jokers because they're so cute. And I only have 1 to show you this morning. Oh, isn't he cute? She's knitting. I have a crocheting one, a weaving one, and a spinning one. It's the same rabbit. White with just a little bit of color in her hair. And then they're all doing a little bit there. Oh, I'm just so excited. So anyway, woohoo. And then what I thought I'd do, since on the Kickstarter, the price of the cards are about $25. There was a little bit more of a price break if you bought more. And then, of course, there was t-shirts and whatnot. But since I have extra cards now, of course, they're still at the printer. I don't have them in my hands yet. But later today, I'm going to post on my website a pre-sale. I'm going to call it Hot Off the Presses. Hot August sale. Why not? And I'm going to offer 50 of those extra decks. First come, first serve at the $25 break. That'll help me get my convention money, help pay for the rabbit feed, all these baby bunnies, and giant baby bunnies. They have a giant appetite. So yeah, it'll help do many things if you want to pre-order. These are limited edition. I'm never going to do this deck ever again. And yeah, so if you're interested, check out my website. So the first 50, I'll do a pre-order. So as soon as they come in, I'll fill my order for my Kickstarters and then this pre-order. Shipping will be about $10. And if you want to meet me at convention, I can hand deliver them to you for free. So anyway, I had some notes here. I think I covered all of that. Holy cow. So my cards are at the printer. It's like a dream come true. I've been dreaming of this for so long and thinking, oh, how can I do this? I even made a deck of cards. I have a really nice printer, an Epson, and a Juliet cutter machine. So I thought, I could make my own, do it right here at home. And I did. I made 2 decks. I was kind of playing around to see how they were going to work. These are a little bit smaller than a normal deck, so I'd have to adjust the size. But they just didn't have the feel of a real deck of cards. It's just, the edges was a little rough, and you really couldn't shuffle it. And I laminated it, and they were done on cardstock, really nice printing paper. But that's what drove me. It's like, and then I knew we were going to convention, which will be in Reno this year. So I put my spinning wheel head in motion, and I just did it through Kickstarter, and it was pretty cool. It's for, I knew of Kickstarter, but I never really dove into it before. But it's for entrepreneurs. First off, if you have a project and you need money to get it done, which to do this and do it right, I needed to get some money. I needed to print at least 100 cards. And then you set a goal. You set up a little reward system and you publish it. And my goal was $2,500. I made that and more. So I'm like, goodness gracious. And then learning the software, right? I've been diving into Canva, and there's several other different programs that I've been using and having a ball. But to learn the specifics on how to send the appropriate file to a professional printer like this, not just at home, it's a whole different world, a whole different thing. So I'm pretty tickled. It's looking pretty darn good. And then the other thing that I finished, do I have a copy here? I was inspired. Betty Chu, she published an article in last quarter's in ARBC's newsletter about the Giant Angoras. And that was so awesome. Thank you, Betty, for doing that. And Candy Hainsel, she wrote an article back in 1999. There's a song about that, isn't it? But yeah, it talked about the history of Giant Angoras, where they came, and it was very detailed, and it's very good. And Candy gave me permission to post that on my website because a lot of people asked me about that. So it was kind of a historical, informational document, and I'm very privileged to have the opportunity to have it available for everybody. And then I thought, well, there's Betty's stuff. It's like, but I wanted to write more. So I wrote an article. I thought it was just going to be a few pages. It ended up being more. It's like 10 pages. But I acknowledged the work that was done. It was kind of a recap before, and referring to Candy's document for the specific details. But then what happened after that? Because there was a lot of work that was been done on the Giant Angoras, and the colors, they've never been gone. They've always been out there, and there's small pockets of people working on them, and a lot of heartache, a lot of success, but more heartache, I think. A lot of trials and errors, and a lot of passion that went into all of those CODs, many different teams, many different people all over the United States. And then I wanted to dive into what we're doing right now, right up to the present, which is leading right up to the Giant Angora village, and specifically the village elders. It's pretty exciting. I made a lot of headway. The colored village, Giant Angora village, is anybody and everybody that loves colored Giant Angoras. And we talk about it everywhere. It's on social media. It's on Facebook. It's everywhere. Now, if you want to get really down and dirty with us and roll up your sleeves and get to work on helping promote and improving the colored Giant Angoras, and specifically the Agoutis, and more specifically the chocolate Agoutis, because I have a COD I submitted. I still haven't heard back from the COD committee yet, the ARBA. I should hear back any day now, so I'm waiting. I submitted my official paperwork, my application. It was $100, certified letter, back in May, so I know it was received. They've got it. Talked to Bryony. She's got it. She's talking to her group right now, and I'm thinking, instead of worrying, which is my first instinct to do, what if, I'm just going full speed ahead. Yeah. Because I'm thinking it's summertime. These people are on vacation. They're having fun. They're fishing. They're doing rabbit shows. And maybe they just haven't had time to get back with me and tell me that I'm approved, which I'm going to cross my fingers that it's going to happen here in a couple of weeks. But we'll just keep plugging forward, keep reading, keep moving forward. And that is going to be with my Village Elders group. We're over 30 people right now. And what it means is you have to sign a contract. Yep, there's a contract. It sounds scary, but it's not really. Come on, you guys. It basically tells me and everybody else in the group, if you sign the contract, you're going to play nice, you're going to be honest, upfront, and you're going to dive in and try to your very best to reproduce more beautiful colored giant angoras and share those stocks. It's a place where we can gather and share and exchange, maybe set up date nights if somebody has a really strong buck. They're going to a show. I've done this in the past and it's worked beautifully. Bring that buck, spread those big giant genes. Oh my gosh, let's make more big, beautiful giants. And so what I did is I tackled my website. Tackled, is that the right term? I don't know. Redesigned it, a portion of it anyway. So once you sign the contract, there's two things you get access to. I'm really proud of both of these. One is the private Facebook group. And there is a group of ladies down there that are helping me manage that Facebook group. And it's private. So the only way in is if you fill out the contract. And you get in the end. And then two, I give you special privileges for a special portion on my Sinfully Soft website. That is just, I'm just simply amazed on how well it's working. I have a couple of pages that are just for Village Elders. Everybody can see the tab. When you go to sinfullysoft.com, on the upper right, go to rabbits, scroll down, and you can see colored giant village. And if you click on that tab, you can see all the details. You can see where the contract is, read it, fill it out, and join us. And there's also a link to the blog post that I go into a lot more detail explaining all of that. And then there's a button for Village Elders. Boom. They get in. You won't if you haven't signed the contract because they have special privileges. And once you get in, you have access to the private classified ads section. And, well, there's another piece to that too. I'll tell you here in a minute. I'm pretty excited. So this classified ads, just a little bit more on this. The way I designed it is I tried it out the first time. I had 17 juniors in the first wave. Not very many chocolate agoutis, but very nice, very promising giant angoras. And knowing that the Village Elders is the group that's getting down and dirty, they're willing to do the work and continue breeding and promoting colored giant angoras, I wanted to give them first crack on what I had for sale. So I designed a form. I can use it. Any of the Village Elders can use it. Filled it out, and boom, it was up on this private page, and it has a listing of everybody that's for sale. And then if it has a little, like a card about the size of a business card, a picture and the name and who owns the rabbit, how much it is, and learn more button. So when you click on the learn more, say it's Cookie, you want to learn more about that chestnut. Oh, that'll take you to a full page where there's more pictures, more information, and you can learn all about it. And then it has contact information on how to contact that breeder. Like if it's me, it's linked to my email. If it's Renee or anybody else, it has a link to their email on how to contact them there. So that's all available to the Village Elders. I'm pretty excited. And I also built in a public side to this too. And what I've done with my 17, about half of those were sold already to the village elders. They're either being reserved or sale pending, depending on the deposit and how that whole process is working, but they're being held. But there was like 6 or 7 that still haven't been spoken to for. And these are the rabbits that are not on my call list. They make the grade. They would be, to me, worthy of keeping myself. So they have a lot of promise. So with a click of the button on my database, kind of behind the scenes on my website, I published them to this same format, but a different page altogether that anybody can look at. You go to Sinfully Soft, go down the rabbit, and you can see the classified ads. So you can see a few of them. Actually, today, I still have a few that are available. So you can take a look at those. So the village elders, they have that opportunity too. The thing that is really frustrating with a lot of different avenues, like Facebook, they don't allow you to sell animals on their platform. And if you get caught trying to fudge, saying this rabbit is getting ready to hop to a new home or whatever, sometimes you get away with it, and sometimes you don't. Trust me, I know. I've been there, done that. Anyway, I wanted a secure place where I could do that, and I wanted to open it up to other serious breeders that were willing to work with the colored Giant Angoras. So yeah, it's working really good. And then another thing that's happening with the village elders, we just started it. We had our very first Zoom meet and greet night. We're going to try to have it twice a month. We'll record the sessions. So I'll have them posted on, again, a private section on my website. So you'll see the schedule, you'll get the Zoom link, and you can also, if you couldn't attend that last meet and greet, you can still watch the replay. I got the idea years ago. There's a knitting group that I belong to, and I can't make their Zoom meetings. Sometimes I do, but it's very rare. But times that I'm out in the bunny barn grooming or I'm doing some stuff and it's just a lot of sitting, I like to watch those replays, and it makes me feel a little bit more connected. I can see their faces, I can see them laughing and sharing, and I learn a lot just by listening, even if I'm not there at the same time as the Zoom meeting. So I think it's going to be great. So we're having those Zoom meet and greets, and that's, again, it's protected against, or not against, but it's on that private section on Sinfully Soft. It's only village elders. Once you sign the contract, I'll be notified. I'll be in contact with you. And then I'll let you in the group, give you access to the website, and you're in. We can start making more beautiful chocolate agoutis and more colors. The biggest thing I wanted to talk about is the opportunity for Giant Angoras right now. With the new rules, many of you have heard me talk about this before, but I want to take a few minutes and drum the beat just a little bit. The old rules were very restrictive. The new rules, and I'm talking ARBA, COD rules, have opened the doors wide open. I think it's easier. I was told by a very wise man, Tammy, it's not easier. I have to, sorry, man, I agree but disagree. He did have a point, though, I have to acknowledge. The hard part is you can't do it all yourself. You have to involve the community. Isn't that something? You have to. Before, it was done by a small group of people, like my chestnuts, for example. Specifically, we had up to 5 people I only had 3, Karen, myself, and my husband on my COD. And when we made our presentations at convention, those showstring animals had to be owned or bred by somebody on the COD team, one of those 3 people. That was hard. It was really hard, but we got it done. I even fudged. I call it fudging. It's kind of brilliant in a way because it worked beautifully. I called it my foster parent program. That last year, I think it was in 23, we went to Kentucky. It was in that fall. Well, that spring, I was busting at the seams with a ton of very promising, kind of like what I'm doing right now, but I had 2 barns at that time. I only have 1 barn now. And so I reached out to the entire community out there. Who wants a colored chestnut for free, but there's strings attached? If you're willing, you have to join my private Facebook group. We called it the Foster Parents or something like that. And you have to bring that animal to convention, and you don't own it. I am going to keep ownership until after that presentation. Then I'm going to give you the pedigree. It's all yours, free of charge. Kind of free of charge. There's a lot of work involved. And if you couldn't get that Angora to convention, I would help you. So keep it. That's with the Facebook. We can network and talk. And the other thing with the Facebook group is we negotiated a specific time. Within a week, all of those giants all across the nation had to be sheared all the way down to the nubbies. They had to get naked. And then 2 months before the show, they could shear their bellies. And I showed them how to do that. There's so many things that are out of our control, like the different locations, inside, outside rabbitries, feed. Holy cow, there's a ton of stuff that could influence the coat growth. But bottom line, we wanted them to have as much commonalities as possible. So that was with the shearing schedule. That was non-negotiable. And things like Ivomec regime, that was non-negotiable. There was a few things like that. Well, with the new rules, that has changed completely. The showstring, when we get ready to make our presentation, does not have to be any of the COD holders. Nada. Doesn't have to be anybody on the showstring. You just have to show up. Well, there is a little catch there. Before, back in the day, when I did my chestnuts, when I sent in my application, I had to send in 5 written affidavits from 5 different households that they were breeding that specific breed and that color variation that I was trying to do in my COD. So I had to have 5 different people write out an affidavit, send it to me that they are currently breeding chestnuts. That was proof of interest in that breed and that variation, that variety. Well, they don't ask for that anymore. Yeah. But here's the catch. This is the hard part that very wise man was trying to tell me. At convention, when I make my first presentation, they are requiring, it's a must, it's a requirement. There must be 25 animals presented, entered at convention in that same color and that same variety that I have in my COD. So for me, that's that chocolate agoutis. And they have to be from 5 different households. Yeah, so they all have to show up in coat and ready to be presented. Now, if we just look at the people that are on my COD committee, I don't have enough households. There's Kevin and myself. We're on the COD, but that's only one household. That's just one. And then we have Deidre McKinney. Then we have, who else do we have? Lauren Cody and Becky Hammond. Becky's in Alaska, and Lauren Cody, where are you? North Carolina? She's a little ways away. And then, of course, my husband and myself. And Deidre, she's right here in Oregon. So we can't do it. We can't do it all. We need the community. So that's why I'm really drumming the drum loud and clear for the village elders, helping them succeed with their colored giant program. My hope, this is pie in the sky. You think I'm crazy, and I am. There's no doubt about it. I want 100, you got me. Yeah, you heard me. 100 chocolate agoutis in the year, what is it, 2028? Is that it? I don't know. It's not for sure yet. But at my first presentation, I want 100 chocolate agoutis there. I'm not going to bring that many. I can't. But the community can. I want an explosion all across the country with colored Giant Angoras. We can do it. We can do it if we work together. So that's the work that's being done in the colored giant village. The other thing that's going to happen really soon, I'm really excited, is we're going to have a study group. The girls have been after me for quite a while, and I've been so busy with this other stuff, I haven't really dove into it to get it going. But we had such a good time with that Zoom meeting with the village elders. I don't see any need on waiting. I'm just going to buckle up and get her done. So we're going to have a study group. I don't know how often we're going to meet. Is it going to be once a week? Every other week? I don't know what's reasonable. But it's going to be free of charge. I'm going to have limited seats. And of course, the colored Giant Angoras, the village elders are going to have first crack. We haven't decided exactly how many seats there is, but there's 2 materials that we're going to use primarily as our study guides. And I just heard back from both of the authors. So I'm going to be posting that out in my email later tomorrow. They gave us permission to use their material. And one is a paid book. I don't even have a copy with me. I used to have a copy, but I don't know where it is. I had to order a new one. But it's the ABCs, the bunny colored book by this Rabbit Smarties. I was looking at my old emails and stuff. I originally purchased that in 2013. It's been a while ago. I loved it back then because it was written for the average Joe like me. There's a lot of really great articles and information out there on colored genetics. And not to put those down at all, because they are our backbone. They are scientifically proven, they're accurate, they're perfect, they're awesome. But for me, it was hard to grasp how to put that into real life. I've listened to videos, and they're all great. There's really good stuff. I just have to say that ABC Color Guide was really hit home with me. So with this color study guide or study group that we're doing, we are requiring, you don't have to pay to enter or to come and join us, but you do have to buy that book. And I got this idea from Sarah. If you ever watch any of my videos, she's a store owner, yarn store, my favorite yarn store, and I have a lot of favorite yarn stores, but she's my favorite because she's local, kind of local. It's still an hour away, but in Hood River, Oregon, not another hat. But she has this course that I took a while back on how to knit an afghan one square at a time. And each square is a different pattern. And it's based on a book. And to join her, I'm going to call it a study group, and she did it on Facebook. You had to show proof of purchase that you purchased this book. And of course, she supplied additional study materials, and just having that small community get together and help you through each pattern, because it wasn't easy. I'm still not done. God, I started that years ago. Sarah, I got to get my butt busy and finish that blanket. I'm about halfway done. But anyway, her idea of purchasing that, and then I kind of dabbled with another project I did a few years ago. This was on how to design your own crescent. I can talk today. Crescent shawl, and you bought the pattern for like $10 or $12, and it stepped you through step by step how to configure it mathematically so you can create your own little pattern along the bottom, and the knit part that brought it all together as a crescent shawl, depending if you wanted a big one, short one, deeper one, narrow one. It was all up to you, and you figure the math to make it turn out the way you want. It was pretty cool. So we created a little mini study group. You had to show proof of purchase that you purchased this pattern. The owner of the pattern, I tried and tried through Ravelry and email to get a hold of her, but I never did get through to her. I don't know what happened. But when I was conversing with several other people in the knitting world, including Sarah, they advised me, if you just send them the money, buy the pattern, you've got it covered. That way, when we work within our little study group, we're not publishing any of the patterns. We're not photocopying or submitting any of their patterns on the internet. We're just using that material internally within our little study group. So we're going to do this basically the same thing for our color genetics. And then I found another website. I'll put the link down here. Another gal had wrote out, and it's free of charge. It's out there on the internet right now. It's not in book form, but it's readable on her website. I think it's a blog, actually. And it's step by step, the very basics of the color genetics. That's beautiful. So we're going to use both those in our study group. So keep a lookout for that. And one last note. God, would you look at it? It's almost 11 o'clock already. There's a podcast I just have to shout out again to Sarah Keller at the yarn store, and Murray Green. She's a pattern designer. She specializes in sweaters. I've been so terrified of sweaters. I can knit almost anything else, but for some reason a sweater just seemed far and away. I couldn't do it. And I've knit 3 of Marie's sweaters. I think she does an excellent job. Anyway, these girls started a podcast a little while ago, and they're a hoot. The title itself is pretty funny. I tried to tell you so, or something. I tried to tell you. That's what it's called. They have advice, and from a store owner, a yarn store owner, and a very talented knitter, and a very talented knitter, and a pattern designer. And I guess both girls, Sarah does publish a lot of patterns as well. But they have different perspectives. Sometimes they're right on the money they share a lot of philosophies, and sometimes they have a little difference. But, it's all funny and humorous, and they try to tell you, in their opinion, it's pretty cool. They're one that they did on July 10th. It was titled, What Do Anti-Aging, Slang, and Technology Have in Common? You have to listen to the podcast to get the whole answer, but there's a lot of pieces to that. One of the things that really struck me that I took to heart, that when we struggle with learning, good Lord, there is so much to learn. Every day is a learning opportunity. Good God. And not only with technology, I've been hit that personally, slapped in the face with that recently, learning how to submit appropriate files to the printer for my cards. And I think it's going to help me with my t-shirts down the road too. Yeah. Technology, slang, God, don't get me going. I don't have teenagers anymore. They're grown children. My grandkids are almost teenagers, or they are teenagers. Some of them are grown. Yeah, so there's a whole language out there that I have no clue on. Sometimes I have to look it up. What does that mean? and and our craft. Have you ever tried to do a pattern or something that's like, God, that's beyond me. I don't know how to do that. I just don't want to do that. Or you're afraid to try that lace knitting because you think that's above you. Or I do that all the time. But one of my, I'm going to call it superpowers. Sometimes it's to my own temperament, but I enjoy learning. I really do. And they talk about how it's scientifically proven that as you grow and learn, turn those little wheels in your brain, keep it exercise, learning a new task, actually it's been proven to help keep you a little bit younger, at least in spirit, right? And it slows time down when you're doing something you enjoy. Boy, when I'm into my knitting pattern and I'm knitting away, or I'm spinning my yarn, it's like hypnotic. It's relaxing. And it's like my husband when he's working out in the garden. He enjoys that. Things that we can do that we enjoy. And then at the end of it, we have something to eat or wear and produce, kind of like my tie-dyes. It's a lot of work making these tie-dyes, but I love it. It's fun. So yeah, check out their podcast, you guys. It's pretty cute. Anyway, I am going to quit yabbering and I'm going to start doing these baby bunnies. Who do we have? Ganache. Ganache and Puff. Yep. Ganache is a chocolate. She's a pure chocolate. And she's an F3. Hi, baby. Look at you. I might have to raise this just a little bit. So if you guys are watching, bear with me. Yep, there we go. Hi. Get back over here. Hi. Yep, I think we're going to have to do one at a time because you guys are just busy. You're going to sit down here for a minute. Yeah. Aren't you pretty? Oh, yes. This is a chocolate agouti. Can we tell who you are yet? You're little. But we are going to trim your toenails. Hi, baby. I got a scissors here. Just oh, yeah. Hold on. Little tiny toenails, but they're so sharp. I'm going to put the lid back down on your sibling over there. Usually at this age, I can start to see if there's any white toenails. And as a chocolate agouti, he shouldn't have any white toenails. They all need to be colored. They all need to be matching. And because he has a dilute, they'll be light colored, but they shouldn't be white. So sometimes it's hard to tell. Oh, hi, baby. Lord. This might take a while. I don't want to miss and get you too far down. I just want to take off those razor sharp, god awful, blood inducing razors that you call toenails. Baby toenails, they are the worst. Hi, sweetheart. We're not done yet. Little tiny toenails. Oh, stop it. One more foot. Yeah, this might take a while. What I need to do is find some music that I won't get docked for copyright on YouTube and play that in the background while I do this monotonous stuff. Because I usually do that, or I listen to You Got It podcasts. Or my other YouTube people that I watch. Hi, sweetheart. Are you going to pose it all? Oh, you're nice. Yes. Very promising. Very promising. So you will be an F4. So you're going to be technically a purebred. Because Ganache is an F3. That's good enough for me. So this one, whoever you are, shall we take a peek? I think it's a doe. We're going to write that down. And of course, I don't have a pen. There we go. I'll put chocolate agouti doe. Being a month old, the sex change fairy happens at my farm. Nice straight tail. Where you going, buddy? Yes. You are adorable. I can't wait for you to grow up. Oh my goodness. And who's this little monster over here? Oh my gosh. Hi, pretty. This one feels really nice too. The only thing I don't like. How's your tail? It feels good. Now look at that. I see furnishings already. What's up with that? Did your sibling have that? I wasn't expecting that. Holy cow. And as I was starting to say, oh my goodness. I know, honey pot, it's okay. I still love you. Yes. Is the white little mane. Do you see that? That'd be a DQ. And it has white on here. No, I didn't look at your teeth. Can I do that? They look good. Nice straight tail. And the feet. She's like, don't do that. Don't do that. We'll have to watch how, well, that's a little better, right? Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes if they go like this, that's a bad thing. But he or she, I haven't been able to look at. You're getting furry already. I can't believe you guys are a month old already. Holy cow, I think it's a doe. I think it's a doe. We're going to put that down. We think it's a doe. Here in about 4 more weeks, I'll know. I'll have more confidence on my... Okay, sweetheart. You squeaked. You're a squeaker. I won't hurt you, I promise. I know, it's okay. So this part is going to take a while. Now, this little girl is a black. So I should be able to tell how her toenails are. It wouldn't surprise me to see a white toenail with the white spotting on her forehead. But I don't know. So far, so good. No white toenails. Okay, we're halfway done. You can let me do these two. Little tiny razor blades. Yeah, they're so sharp. I know. I'm trying to hold her next to my body so she feels a little more secure. Now that one's kind of light, but it's not white. I'm not going to cut these down too far. Just going to get those little sharp little blades off at the very ends. One more foot, sweetheart. Are you going to let me do that? Yeah, the other thing I did this week is I bought me an iron. I searched high and low. I couldn't find mine. I bought a new iron a few years ago, and I don't iron, you guys. I really don't. But I have a slew of my tie-dye shirts that's been in a tub. They've been hanging now for a few weeks. But I need to take pictures. I've even got a gal that she's been emailing me. She wants to buy one, and I can't sell them if they just stay here, right? Oh, so I got to get pictures made. and listings posted. I can't share them if they just sit here all wrinkly. So I bought me an iron. So now that I have my, oh, you guys are pretty. Oh my goodness. We'll start with you. Oh my goodness. Who are you? Yes, later today I'm going to be ironing some t-shirts. Oh, you're so pretty. This is a black one. You are Miss Harmony's babies. They were born on July 2nd. All these are just a few days apart. So they're all about a month old. And Puff is your baby daddy. He's a chocolate agouti. And they're purebreds. Oh, you're quite a bit smaller than that other black one. But holy cow, there's a passel of you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. And Ganache only had 2 to take care of. So you've had to share your mama, haven't you? And Harmony, if all goes well, I think she's going to go to Lauren and her crew over there to help with their breeding program. She's a chocolate agouti. One of the 5 that my Miss Sweet Thing raised. And I've been keeping those 5 near and dear to me. Because up until just recently, I purposely have not bred very much. Here's a light colored toenail. It's not white. Well, I don't know. Might be okay. We'll take a... It matches all your other toenails. Being a black little girl, I would expect to see darker toenails. But the SOP, the standard, says they must match. That's what's required. That is a DQ if they don't match. And they all must show some pigment, being a colored rabbit. So far, I'm seeing pigment. Hi, sweetheart. Can we take a look at your teeth first? Now look at this one. No white mane. No white on the muzzle at all. No, nothing. Oh my goodness, you're just black. Nice white teeth. Oh, you're a pretty girl. Are you a girl? Can we tell? You're just a little thing down here. Ooh, I think it's a girl. We'll make a little note of that. And, of course, time will tell in about a month. In about a month, we'll check you later. Look at those deep brown eyes. Look at those. Oh, you're such a pretty girl. Yes, you are. You're going to grow up to be stunning, aren't you? We need a black giant. COD. Not me. God, no. But you could help with that, couldn't you? Yeah. Oh, and you're such a calm baby. Oh, yes. Her nose is barely going. Sometimes when they sit with me, their nose is going 100 miles an hour, and you could tell they're kind of stressed. They're a little nervous. She's not. She's like, whatever. Whatever. Yes. You're going to be a good one, aren't you? Okay. Oh, I can feel, oh my gosh. That feels, really good. Very, very promising. And what else do we have in here? Ooh, look at this one. A chocolate. Hi, baby. Now, nobody get excited and ask me for these chocolates, you guys. They're not going anywhere. Not for at least a year. Because I want to get at least 1 or 2 breedings out of these chocolates. Especially this one. Hi, baby. You are precious. You're so little. Look at that. I can see, oh my gosh. Your mama has done a really good job on you. Nice brown eyes. Can we look at your teethers? I should trim your toenails first. Yeah, you're looking really good too. I don't see any stray white hairs. No, nothing. Just chocolate. Just chocolate. Okay, since you're being good, we're going to do your toenails too, okay? Is that all right? And your tail's right there. Nice, straight tail. Sometimes you get those kink tails, and it's either hereditary or an accident in the nest box somewhere. But we don't want those kink tails. I keep checking. Sometimes it happens, but I've been pretty lucky so far. Knock on wood. Now you're really calm too, aren't you? Yeah, hold on. Your toenails are looking pretty light, but you're a chocolate. I guess that's to be expected, huh? One more, sweetheart. God, we have a lot of baby bunnies to look at today. So if you guys want to go on, I want to turn on some music, but I can't right now. I'm going to put that on my to-do list. So if I have something monotonous like this on a live, I can have some music in the background. You guys don't have to necessarily listen to me jabber. Oh, I know, sweetheart. Well, I still didn't hurt you, I don't think. This is the last foot. These little sharp daggers. Little sharp daggers. There's a toenail down there. It's poking me. I just can't see it. There we go. You're all done. You're going to be pretty too, aren't you? Too soon to tell. It's not really posing very well for me, but there's a rise there. Oh my gosh. There's a nice... Did we take a peek? Our first guess? Did we? We didn't do that. Can we? I'm just really curious. Oh, my baby, Lordy. You were so good just a minute ago. Well, you might be a doe. We're going to put that down. Just keep an eye on that. And what else do we have here? We have a white one. Hi, baby. How are you? So nice to see white in my barn again. I haven't had very much white. Now, for some reason, you're just not feeling as good as your other one, your siblings so far. But you're little yet. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. But I don't know. I know. Hold on. Those little toenails. Can we do those first before we get too far? Come here. Can we do those? Right there. Right there. You're a calm little one. Yeah. Nice sturdy feet. That tells me that I need to pay more attention to your cages. Usually, one of my things I do on a daily basis is take a wire brush to every single cage. I feed and water twice a day, especially during the summer. They get watered twice a day. And I just not see how these are starting to splay. And she's a little bit further apart than her siblings. That's a red flag right there. We'll take a closer look at you as time progresses. But yeah. I've been so busy on the computer. I've been slacking on my work on my computer. Now I need a marker. Hi, baby. So I can keep track. Hi, who are you? I've got 4 little chestnuts. For some reason, I had chocolate agouti, but I don't think I have. He's kind of, yeah, we're taking a closer look at all of you guys. Some of my chestnuts are so high in rufous, I mistake them for chocolate agoutis. And I did that a lot several years ago. But I'm getting better. I look at the ears, the tips of the ears, and their face. And of course, their body right now is about the same as their face. So if I look at the very tips, and it helps if I have some white paper to lay that against. My baby. Those are black tips. Those are black tips. So this is definitely a chestnut. There's no doubt about it. Can we do your toes too? Nice straight tail. Oh, sweetheart. I know it's going to be okay. I think it's really important that I try to be calm and easy with these guys. This is their very first grooming session. So I want them to like, oh, well, that was scary, but that wasn't that hard. Because I won't mind doing that again. Because most of these guys will have a lot more of these little sessions, won't you? Yes. And I could look at this as a huge chore. Oh, I got gazillion toenails to get done. I can get myself all riled up. But instead, I look at it as a gift. These mamas produced beautiful babies for me to play with. And they're so curious and so fun. Yes, you are. And this one, I'm going to make a note. We've had a discussion with a few people already when I talked about dark bellies. Oh, I know, you have a dark belly. Now that might be considered an undercoat. I don't know. You guys, you tell me. If you know, you tell me. These are the things that I do know. There's a lot more that I don't know. Oh my goodness. We're halfway done, sweetheart. Just a few more. All of these chestnuts had a white belly when they were born. I know. And the other white markings, underneath the tail. They talk about the little triangle behind the neck. And that famous nose markings. Is that true? Yeah, I got it. Oh, that was so tiny. I got one more toenail to do. Oh, not one more toenail, one whole foot to do. Can we do that? Can we do that? Oops, I don't want to cut it down too short. We're just going to nick off those little razor blades, baby. Okay, 2 more toes. 2 more toes. So as this matures, I can tell you that belly will be darker and darker. It has some white, but I'm calling it for my notes, right or wrong. Oh, there's a little baby poop. A dark belly. And what that tells me, it's not a DQ, but it's something that I'm definitely looking at. And someday I would like to eliminate it completely from my chestnut line. Because what it will do, it has the potential of mucking up the ring color and the pattern. Not 100%, but it has the potential. Oh, you got it. And you've got a good rice. You need a lot more groceries, dude. Or doodad. I don't know. Did we just take a guess on who you were? Ooh, nice straight tail. I think this is a buck. I'm going to put a B just in case. I don't know. We'll double check. Yeah. But it has to do with the steel genes, those obnoxious outlier genetics. that are really hard to nail down. Oh, you're licking my hands. Good baby. You're a sweetheart. Okay. Yes. Now this one is well fed. This one has not missed any meals. Have ya? Let's write to number 2 in your ear, shall we? Because there's 4 of you. Yeah. Very nice. Oh, very promising body. Oh my goodness. Yes. Can you smell the other bunnies on me? It's your turn. See, another dark belly. And what I want in my breeding is nice, clean, white bellies. Or cream colored. Oh, come here, come here. Yes, that is what I prefer. Now I can see nice dark toenails in here. Your sibling had nice dark toenails too. So there's some things that are more higher up a priority for me. So if I had white toenails or broken tail, kinky tail, bad teeth, white spotting like that first black baby we looked at, there's a slew of things that are higher on my, oh, I almost got it. We have a little toenail down here we have to do, okay? Right now, they're still higher on my list, but I do make notes of the dark bellies. Yeah, I do. Just for my note taking, and I in the hopes of being transparent with my other fellow breeders. Yep. Because I feel it's information that I would want to know myself if I was buying a rabbit. And you don't always get that. The breeders don't always know. I didn't know when I was first starting. It took many, many years. But so far, I don't see anything else wrong with this rabbit. You are beautiful. Yes. Okay, so who haven't I done? I got 2 more to do. Did you? Okay. Didn't, not you. Here we go. Oh, and I forgot to check the sex on that one. That's all right. It's early yet. It's early yet. Hi, sweetheart. How are you? We'll call you number 3 today. You're number 3. I turned up my air conditioner because I think I had it off. My husband was helping me load up the baby bunnies this morning. You better turn on the air conditioner. It's hotter in there. Well, I had it on 75. That's not hot, but it wasn't. I think it's 66 now. I'm getting cold. These guys loving it. Now, here's another dark belly. Yeah, we got a lot of them here. And while I'm right here, let's take a peek, just because I'm curious. You might be a doe. Nice straight tail. Hi, sweetheart. You're holding still for me, aren't you? These little knife-like needle sharp little toenails are going to be gone. You got that half turn already. You're ready to make that flip at a moment's notice, aren't you? Back feet are done. Now we're going to do the front feet. Yeah, so we want to keep an eye on their ring color, 'cause that's one thing I learned. The COD committee at ARBA, after my first presentation, they gave me a lot of really great things to watch out for and some advice. And one of the things they wanted me to work on for the next presentation was ring definition. So I took that to heart. And we worked on ring definition. Yes. And then you're flat as a pancake. You didn't feel that way at first. Your posing sucks, mister. I don't think I've done you yet. Let's look at you. Oh, nope. Now, are you a chocolate agouti? Holy cow, I think you are. I think you are. Oh, I couldn't remember. I'm going to make a note of that because I'm looking at the tips of the ears. They're not black. And the tips of the wool is brown. You're a chocolate agouti. Oh, yay. Okay. Here we go. You're beautiful. And look at that. A nice white belly, just the way I like it. You got the memo, didn't you? You got the memo. Yes, you did. We'll get those little toenails trimmed. You're trying to do that half turn. Hold on, baby. Okay. You are pretty. Oh, I love that body. Oh my gosh. Oh, God almighty. Oh, I'm tickled. I'm tickled pink. Yes. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, where are you going, baby? Stop it. Can I take a quick? I'm dying here. He's like, nope. I'm on my back to eat. And that's all I do on my back right now. Oh, owie. Okay. Here we go, sweetheart. I'm going to win this. I do. I do think so. I'm going to win this. Yep. I'm in charge. She's like, nope. Are you a she? Did I do that? I think every time I get close, you're like, nope, she's not doing it. Okay, we're going to do it. Because this is first of many, many little sessions that you're going to have, little girl. It is a girl. White belly. I'm going to write that note down. See, there is a little bit of undercoat, and I don't know what they call this area right inside the kneecaps here. Is that the saddle? I don't know.